Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brad Hannon
and Sean Noonan.
And we're coming at you with episode 1 of the Insurance Sucks podcast. I am so excited. We had a little test run yesterday. So if you jumped on yesterday and you saw a little test run, you ain't seen nothing yet. This thing is going to get vulgar. Not today, hopefully, but it's going to get vulgar. It's going to get fun. It's not really going to get that vulgar. It's not. It's just going to be fun. And if you missed it, we talked about in the last episode how many times I said the word fun. And if you counted the times I said the word fun, and you shoot me an email, text, whatever, and you get it right, I'll send you $100. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. But today I got a real treat for you folks. I got a real special one for you because it's episode 1. It's going to be me and Sean. Every week we're going to have new guests. Every week we're going to bring guests from inside the insurance industry, outside the insurance industry. But I wanted to spend a few moments with you before we get into it, kind of introducing you to our hosts. Obviously Sean will do some interviewing of me. I want to interview Sean. Some of you guys might know who I am. Might not have seen this guy a whole lot, but you've probably seen him if you've been at any kind of an event. He's been with me most of the time. It's my right-hand man. I appreciate you, love you, and I'm so proud of you for getting in front of a camera. I'm so proud.
I didn't really have much of a choice, but I feel like that's most things.
How'd you wind up here?
You walked up to me one day and you said, "Hey, we're gonna co-host a podcast," and I said, "Okay,
we're gonna have some fun. Have some fun."
That's right.
Before we get into it, I got to tell you this funny story. Right, this isn't anything goes type of a podcast. Right, we are the Insurance Sucks podcast for a reason. Okay, and it's because guess what? Insurance sucks. Just be real.
Yeah,
we love it. I love it. It's a pun. Is that a pun? The right word for it?
Not a pun, no.
It's not a pun, but it's like it's kind of.
Truth.
We love insurance. We do. And it doesn't suck, right? When you need it.
Oxymoron.
But it's an oxymoron. Yes. There you go. It's a giant shrimp is what it is. And we love insurance. Let's be real. It gave us both a life that probably wouldn't have imagined, definitely would never have imagined getting an insurance. But the vision behind this, if you guys are just tuning in or seeing for this for the first time, the vision is to give insurance agents an outlet, or insurance agents an entertainment, right, for insurance agents, by insurance agents, where we'll talk about anything but insurance. Because I don't know about you, but if you're anything like me, you consume a lot of content. You see a lot, like you're in all the Facebook groups, right? This podcast right now is streaming to the Insurance Syndicate. What up, Joe? I know you're watching. The Insurance Syndicate is an amazing group, and really it kind of shares the vision, or we kind of share the vision of bringing all insurance lines together and bettering the community. And this is just one of our avenues to do that, right? This is to create sort of an entertaining channel, right, for the insurance industry, because we are overwhelmed and inundated sometimes with information. And by the way, if you're commenting through Facebook, make sure that you approve or authorize StreamYard to show us your name, because I bet you that was Campert with the fire emojis. We just don't know it, Joe.
Emoji. I don't know.
We just don't know it if that's Joe or not. But real quick, funny story. Okay.
All right.
I want to get to the point. So
they're actually funny, or Brad Hannon?
Well,
funny?
And this is what we're going to decide,
right.
right? We'll let the audience decide. I don't know how I didn't tell you this yesterday, but about 2 days ago, I think it was, my son had a little accident at school, right? We've been potty training. He's been so good. My 3-year-old has been so good. He hasn't had an accident in a while. He's just been amazing with it, right? But he was at school, and, things are different at school. So he was at school and he had a little accident. It was number 2. Okay, so when they have an accident at school, they send the kids home.
Big top images all in my head already.
They send the kid home. Okay, this is amazing. This is so amazing. They send the kid home when you have a little accident at school. They send the kid home with, their soiled underwear and
Lovely.
Clothes and in a bag, right? So obviously, my wife does the laundry. I shouldn't say that. Obviously, my wife does the laundry.
If you've met Brad's wife, obviously, Ashley does the laundry.
Obviously, my sweet wife does the laundry. What up, Joe? There he is. Now we Gucci. And so, like my good wife does, she's doing the laundry. And she opens that bag, throws it in the washer. You kind of know where this is going now. And so she washes this load of laundry. Okay. She takes this load of laundry out of the washer. She places this load of laundry into the dryer and continues to heat and dry that laundry.
That's lovely.
Only to open the dryer, like what, 45 minutes, an hour later, only to open the dryer with a nice, shiny, clean, perfectly round, it's got some lint stuck to it and things, turd. This perfectly round turd got washed and cleaned, and then it got dried. And so
you've got a petrified turd.
We have a petrified turd that we then now use it as a trophy. That's great.
Awesome. That's awesome.
No, but that's my just a great little opener, right? I was gonna tell that's some clean shit. That's right. I was gonna tell Sean that story like moments before the podcast, and I was like, dude, this is great. I'm gonna tell him this live. Get a live reaction and see what's going on. I'm over here crying because it's just hilarious.
That is actually a funny story.
I've got 4 freaking texts from my wife, so she's probably watching like, oh my God, I can't believe you're telling everybody I washed a turd. But that's a space peanut, somebody says. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what were we going to talk about after we talked about turds?
I don't know anymore.
Oh man. So again, the vision behind this, guys, is to give us, an entertainment outlet and bring in people both inside and outside the insurance community to talk about things that maybe aren't exactly related with insurance. Now, I want to just say, okay, and then I want to talk to you about Sean and get to know Sean a little bit, but I want to just say that this isn't completely empty, right? Or void of all, any helpful things, right? There is going to be so much material that you can take from this that will help you in business and life and, investments and whatever it might look like, right? We're going to get different perspectives for different people. We're going to have a whole lot of fun doing it. We're just not going to do it in the traditional bullshit way of feeding sales trainings down your throat day after 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 day that you don't even apply, right? We're just going to talk, shoot the shit with successful people. Maybe we'll bring on some unsuccessful people. I was showing Eric Steve Will Do It's channel the other day, and he got a homeless man $25,000 new grill. We might do something like that. If we can raise the funds to go get a grill for a homeless guy, maybe we'll do that too.
We'll start a GoFundMe for that.
Dude, we'll just have fun.
We'll get a new agent, a solid gold cell phone.
Actually, how about a polished turd?
I don't think we need to raise any money
I know
for that.
where to find one. I know where to find one. So if you guys have not met Sean, Sean is probably one of the more unsuspecting guys to be on a podcast, which is all probably the more reason for it. I shared with Eric. Joe, we are going to get into that for sure. We're definitely going to talk about how Sean is selling, like he's making probably $3,000 to $5,000 a month on the low end. That was just modest estimate, selling freaking consoles. But we're going to get to that in a moment because that's like recent.
Joe's my main referrer too. I got shout out to Joe Camper.
Joe's a great referral partner for consoles. Right. But I was talking to Eric, Edub, the real legend, man. Edub's a great guy. Love to have Edub on the part of the team. We're working on affording a microphone for him too. We only have 2. So you're going to hear from me and Sean today, and down the road, you'll hear from Eric as well. But we were talking about the idea of this show, and it was just me and Eric talking about it. And I'm like, dude, what about Sean? Like, Sean's such a good compliment to me. He can bust my balls a little bit on video, like make it funny. He's just a good counterpart to me. Yeah. And I
mean, you're the more obviously red person. I'm
absolutely.
a little bit more tame, a little bit more traditional pigment.
Yeah. I'm good looking. You're not so good looking. I'm a great Halo player.
Not
right. So much.
Doubt that one.
But dude, let's get into your background, okay? And some of this is we're gonna go back far enough to where even I didn't know you, right? We'll talk about how we met and how we linked up, whatever. But I want people to get to know you a little bit. And again, there's always value to be taken from this. So if you're in insurance or looking to get insurance, and you can connect with some of the story, and you're like, oh man, I didn't think I could ever sell because I had that feeling too that Sean had then. And now you're like watching this, you're like, maybe I could be successful selling insurance. I would just need to drink Bailey's in my coffee in the morning, right?
That's we'll get into that.
So tell me, where'd you grow up?
Sarasota, Florida, born and raised, never left.
Okay, I'm gonna have to coach him up off screen at some time. Give me the extended answers. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I set you up for that.
Yeah.
I was like a 1-word answer. And this is why he's a great counterpart on the show, right? He lets me do the talking, and he just sits there and looks pretty. That's perfect.
It's my job. It's what my fiance says too.
But seriously, you grew up here,
born and raised.
Okay. Why did we ever know each other growing up?
Just went to different schools.
Okay.
It's really all. Actually, we did know each other
Okay.
indirectly. Funny enough, you brought up Halo, but there's a photo that will be circulating Facebook every now and then from probably, I'd say, what, 20 years? No, probably about 18 years ago. Halo 2, having a LAN party.
It was Halo 3, actually.
Those two.
Okay, it was Halo 3.
No, but it was 2.
I don't trust my memory anyways, but
it was 2 because we had regular Xboxes.
Okay,
back then.
fair enough.
So playing a Halo LAN party at our buddy's house, had the old school tube TV set up on the typical white folding table.
Oh, it was so good.
4 TVs on each side, none of them matched. 4 TVs on the other side,
like boob tube TVs, not just TVs.
Yeah, like straight 90s. Didn't even have HDMI, wasn't a thing back then.
No, it wasn't.
So we still had the old school red, white, and yellow cables. I think that's when we first officially met.
When I probably got my ass kicked on a Halo LAN.
Absolutely.
For sure. This is what 100%. I get for playing with nerds. Like, I mean, come on. Should stick to sports.
I would have kicked your ass at that too.
Yeah, so. Set him up for that one too. This guy's like, he's a unique one. He's not just a gamer. He's good at like real life sports too. He's not like just what is that where they play the like sword fights and the fake things are dressed. No. Everyone always says that.
Fencing.
No. They dress up like weird people. And they go on the field. LARPing. Yeah. He's not just a LARPer, folks. He's also an athlete.
Hawkeye recently.
Right. He used to be a LARPer.
Yeah, I never LARPed. I would never dress up.
So you also played sports growing up and stuff too, not just video games.
Correct. Yeah. Grew up, played baseball my entire life. I always say the story that I had an opportunity in my mind to pursue a professional career in 2 things at a young age. Baseball was one of them. Halo is the other. And my issue was Halo took away my time from baseball as far as going to the gym, being committed to that, keeping my body healthy. So I spent a lot of time playing Halo. But baseball took away a lot of my time from playing Halo as well, too. So I had the opportunity to potentially go quote unquote pro, as they called it back when, if you've ever heard ML, there's the photo. Found it.
Somebody's watching. This is the photo. This is the photo. I think it's Blake because it's the number that I don't have stored.
It's gotta be Blake.
Is it Weaver?
Yep, that's Blake.
So it's Blake. This is the photo of us Halo landing. I'll post this later in the groups in the comments.
Good,
but
18 plus years.
Look at Fuzi. He's like he was maybe like 5 pounds less than what he weighs now.
See the holes in Wes's drywall back then from when he threw his controller all the time.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, I went to, if anyone, I was say not if anyone's familiar. A lot of people are familiar with now IMG.
Of course,
that's actually where I went to high school, and not because I was the rich kid who could afford it, but was fortunate enough to have a scholarship to go there. Had a good friend who I played baseball with. Funny enough, he was a diehard Red Sox fan. I'm a diehard Yankees fan.
Love it. He
was drafted by the Yankees and caught the final pitch from Mariano Rivera in Yankee Stadium.
Nice.
No, he's a diehard Red Sox. Fuck him. But I played with him most of my childhood. He got me an IMG because his mom worked there. And IMG was the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened to me because we played nonstop. Never got a chance to let my body heal.
Played
baseball.
Okay,
baseball. We didn't play Halo.
Didn't know which one we were playing.
Well, we did, but unofficially.
Okay, right.
And it just caused me to never give my body a break. Growing up here, play baseball year round. It's the worst thing you can do as a teenager. So for all you parents out there that have kids playing sports, give them times off. They need to let their body heal.
Otherwise, they're just going to freaking get burnt out anyways.
Exactly. So tore my labrum. Didn't know that.
Labia.
Labrum. Labias don't tear. I heard those things snap right back. So
that's yummy.
That's ridiculous. So anyways, knew I had a tear. Didn't know exactly what it was. Ended up getting it fixed 5 years ago, but If it wasn't for baseball, probably could have gone pro at Halo. If it wasn't for Halo, had an opportunity to go play professional baseball. I was scouted freshman year by the Phillies is when they started it. So even though I was 5'11", 120 pounds, I was just that tall, skinny, good kid that was good at sports.
There you go.
So
now he's a professional insurance person.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know about professional, but I'm making it work.
There you go.
But that was my childhood growing up here. And I think the reason why we just didn't know each other is because, I always went to private schools. You went to public schools. We knew the same people. We met on occasion, but like if, frankly, like Brad wasn't good enough to hang out with me on the baseball field or on Halo. So I didn't know the guy. I didn't have time to.
In my head, I definitely was for sure. But like you said, we went to different schools and did different things. So it's all good. But the things that I think about, obviously, when I knew you then, right, we weren't really close, right? We weren't, no. We kind of were doing our own things, whatever. We played some video games together here and there. And then you were into banking.
Yep.
Right. And you were making fun of me all the time for selling insurance. And now here you are selling insurance. And you guys might have heard that story. We've talked about it a couple of times, but, go into a little bit, like fast forward to, now, or to, how we got here, what got you into insurance, and, be mindful. We're not talking about insurance. We're just talking about what got you into insurance. Right.
Yeah, no, I worked financial institutions for the better part of a decade, a little bit more than 9 years, and thought I enjoyed it for the first couple of years. Realized very, very quickly that I didn't love it, but I didn't go to college. I'm not the most educated person. If you want to talk like solely
formally, he's talking
formally education.
He's pretty freaking smart. Yeah. Oh, look at Joe said MLG, baby.
Hey, he knows what's up.
We used to watch it all the time. I used to sit there and watch hours of MLG.
MLG Pro, man. I constantly watch that.
Now it's like Twitch and everything else.
Yeah, they've got all these different stuff now. It's not as good, but I worked banking. Got my investment licenses and my insurance license in 2013, which was ironic because it was before you did.
Yep.
And you got into insurance. So I had knowledge of what insurance was, even though at the time I was 23 years old. I didn't even know what health insurance was used for because I never went to the doctor.
Right.
But I knew enough when you were talking to me about, we're traveling to softball tournaments with Scotty Sutt driving us typically,
right.
A couple hours away, and you'd be, oh yeah, I just started doing insurance. And I'm like, oh, cool. Tell me, and you're telling me everything about the plan. I'm like, dude, that's a scam.
Sounds like crap.
That's fake insurance. So, but like we went back and forth on it. And after 9 years, it's funny because I had my 2 weeks notice in my pocket for probably about 3 weeks or so.
Oh, here we go. I know where this is going. This is funny.
And, I get not called in the office because I had what used to be the manager's office at our branch. I was one of the private client bankers, and the manager comes in, and she's very stoic and somber, and says, okay, basically an investigation was going on and that they were going to let me go, for not to get in the details of it, for bullshit basically.
But you caught that he had his resignation in his pocket for 2 weeks first, right?
Correct.
It's like
I was just waiting on a job offer.
This, like, I remember when I was in middle school. I swear, man, I was in middle school. This chick, I dropped a note in her locker, right, breaking up with her, and she never opened her locker. Before she opened her locker, she came and broke up with me. And I'm like, no bullshit. Look at the timestamp on that note. I left you in your locker. I broke up with you. You didn't break up with me. And that's kind of what it was. This was middle school, okay. But that's kind of what I'm picking up here. He's like, no. I was going to quit before they ever fired me, but let's just be honest. He was fired.
I was fired. And it was the single best thing that ever happened to me.
I love it.
At that point. Because I didn't know what I was going to do. And I wanted to get out of banking. I was tired of it. I wanted to go the investment advisor route, and
Joe, we used to have a Halo coach.
No, that was
Sean
a real
could
thing.
Sean could be your Halo coach.
100%. That is a real thing for you.
Wow.
I know all about Joe.
Didn't have a
But
Halo
get
coach.
back onto the story.
My job is to distract. His job is to stay on topic.
Constantly. But I was trading options at the time. I'd been doing it for about a year or so, which was highly against company policy. I'd say. So
There's the investigation they were talking about.
They fired me for was BS. They had so much more stuff that was tangible that they could have actually proven for. So, like, I deserved to be fired, but not for the reasons. They fired me for.
Like, if you wanted to fire me, you should have fired me for this, this, and this.
Yeah, but I mean, they had BS stuff to where you couldn't actively trade stuff. You had to hold a position for over 30 days because, they think me sitting there at a branch being a nobody has all this insider information. It's not like I'm talking to the owners of Walmart and Target every day. Like, it's stupid. So, but fired me. I was trading options for a couple months. Wasn't as successful doing it as a career as I was doing it for a hobby because it became very real. And the emotions kicked in. And then, you had just gotten your office at that point. You were posting photos and I think you were painting the office and you're like, hey, open up an office if anybody's looking for a job or whatever. And I'm like, well, fuck, man, I have my insurance license. Like, Brad's not
but I'm not looking for a job.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm definitely not looking for
a
I'm like, he's not a smart guy. Like, I've known you long enough at this point. I was like, this idiot over here is making $250,000 plus a year. Like, why can't I do this? So I messaged you and I said, hey,
I'm still wondering why you can't.
Right? We'll get into that too. But I messaged you and I said, tell me or sell me on why I should sell insurance with you. And you smartly said, I'm not going to sell you on anything. Just come into the office, which was selling me. Just come into the office. I'll show you what I do, the numbers, how everything correlates. And here I am. So,
here you are. Happy, sad, indifferent.
Love it.
Wish you didn't ever take the opportunity. What's up?
There's moments where I think that, but those are very, very brief.
Is that no moments because you're mad at me, or those moments because you just didn't sell a policy or something like that?
No, those are moments because I have to pick up the phone and talk to somebody, which is extremely out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, fuck talking to people, right?
It sucks.
Says the man behind a microphone on a podcast.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like, it was great to get him on here, and we're going to do a lot of this, and he's going to get used to it. And I saw a comment the other day at a post, actually. My man Eric DeJohn, dude's a stud. He's wild, but he's a fucking
California
stud.
Guy, right?
No, he's Tampa.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of the guy.
He's Lodi's counterpart. Like, Lodi and him are always yep. So Eric said, what's the difference between an introvert and extrovert, right? Introvert versus an extrovert. And like, that was the question he posed. He said, absolutely nothing. An introvert, if you want, basically the gist of it was, if you want to be good at talking to people, you'll be good at talking to people. If you want to, be good at this, you'll be good at it. Right. Yep. And so I would definitely say that's applied to selling insurance, right?
100%.
You've absolutely, we didn't talk about it, but the Baileys and the coffee thing, when Sean first started, he didn't tell me this,
right away.
And we also didn't tell the Department of Insurance this because I don't think it's allowed, but we'll just say it was before he even had his license or something. I don't know. We're going to get in trouble in this podcast eventually. Might as well start on episode 1. He would have some Baileys in his coffee before he came to the office so that he felt good enough to get on the phone and call people. So, and
I'm not a drinker. Just ask my fiance. She begs me to get drunk. I think I've been drunk in front of her 3 times. We've been.
Dude, he has one freaking seltzer, like a Truly or something, and he's
not
freaking
even
drunk.
I take like 3 sips of it.
Yeah, Angry Orchard, and he's blacked out. It's like, geez, dude. I don't know. That's why he's the opposite of me in like every single way. Because I'm like, I got gallons over here. I've been drinking it since 7 o'clock this morning. I'm like, still going, dude. It's like, geez, man, this guy never stops. Like the Energizer Bunny. Hey, speaking of me, let's move on, dude. Everybody wants to hear about me.
That is true. I don't know why we focus so much on me.
I'm just kidding. But seriously, the second part of this, I just wanted to kind of give it over to Sean. And before I do, I gotta say, I mentioned this yesterday, I told him, I said, dude, don't hold back on me. Like let the world know who I am, because I don't want to be this guy that like, if you saw what I'm looking at, this stupid fucking pose that I have with my suit on and whatever, like, that's like, listen, I can turn it on.
You're wearing blue jeans
I can
in
be
that photo
business
too,
Brad,
aren't you?
man. But I like, all my friends know me as, like, the way Sean knows me. It's a dude that would be not the first person you'd ever think to be as successful as I am, and certainly not as successful as I'm going to be. Can I get an amen? Right.
Amen.
So, man, the floor is yours, dude. Like, the audience wants to know, Brad. Go ahead, hit me with some stuff. I mean, I'm used to this. You need to rattle me.
So obviously, everyone knows you. Insurance all the time. That's all you talk about. That's all you talk about here.
What do you mean? I'm not talking about it here.
This is why I'm amazed that we're doing a podcast that's not about insurance. God, if you asked me 6 months ago if I was allowed to talk about anything non-insurance related in front of Brad, the answer would have been no, absolutely not.
Shit.
But
my wife even jokes with me about that. She's like, how do you, like, I was talking about our kids and somehow you tied that into, like, your business. Like, what the?
Blows my mind as well too.
Pretty good.
But tell the people, I go, what does Brad Hannon do when he's not working in insurance, when he's not selling insurance, when he's not coaching insurance agents?
Dude, I'm almost always right now with my family, right? That's the first and foremost thing. Is I spend a lot of time with my kids, a lot of time with the family. I got a 3-month-old that requires a ton of attention. He is the opposite of my firstborn, who you could set him down on this table. This table is pretty solid. You could just set him on this table and he'd be like good for, a half hour. We would never do that, but you could just put him anywhere. He's good. My newest, he is probably more like me because he just constantly wants attention, right? And so he wants to be held all the time, but not with the family. Definitely golfing or hanging out with the boys, hanging out with my friends, drinking, partying, doing the stuff that normal people do, and not partying in the way that you might think. Like, I'm not going to, like, high school parties, but, like, I mean, dude, I like
30 years old.
I like to hang out with my friends. You know what I mean? Like, I like to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm usually, and that's why this is such a good, I'm trying to bridge the divide between, dude, I'm like this guy, I love to freaking have a good time. Okay. But then in the office, a lot of times I get real, we gotta go. Like, I get real.
I have noticed.
Yeah. Right. I get real, like, focused on the business and the fun. So this is to bridge the divide, man. This is finally an initiative to, allow us to have more fun in 2022. And, I don't know where this goes. I don't know if it's me and, 15, 20 other people that listen to this podcast. I probably won't even listen to it. So maybe that's 14 other people, but, the idea, and I won't listen to it because I'm listening to it live.
Yeah, Eric
you
will
need
have to listen to it again.
Right. But the idea is just to have more fun. And ultimately that's what I'm doing is either golfing or hanging out with the family. Okay. The thing that I'm adding this year, adding back is more outdoors. I think you might've seen a post I made the other day about getting outdoors more in the woods and on the water. I could go back into the archives of my redneck days. That's where I grew up, in the woods. And I'm growing the beard back right now. How can you have more fun in 2022 without a freaking Ishmael beard?
That is
right.
True. That is
like,
true.
I'm trying to have some real fun.
And you've already got your 2 kids, so you're good there.
Exactly. I'm good. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. I jokingly, I will be the first to say that the people that said 2 kids is a lot were right. It's not as hard as someone made it out to be. Like, we were blessed with 2 very good children. So they like to sleep and, they're all that. But my work schedule's changed a lot. I'm leaving the office earlier. I'm getting here later. It's just that first 3-4 months I think is difficult. And I think about, others in our space who are ahead of us, ahead of me, who I'm kind of like trying to strive after. And I think, man, I wonder how they handled it when their kids were 3 months old and 4 months old, because it is a lot for a family, obviously, with a baby.
Yeah, so definitely. And I think it's a lot for your wife.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
she's a beast.
She's
and not in like a good way.
She runs a tight ship.
She does run a tight ship.
We're impressed. We talk about her structure at home all the time, which I think is good for you because you need a little bit of structure. So why don't you? And I'm trying to get my thoughts together too. I'm usually the person that knows what I want to talk about, but
Cody Bennett, hot yoga.
hot yoga is actually great. I don't know,
Dude,
if you've
I
ever done
freaking
it before,
love me some hot yoga.
but, dude, it's
Oh,
great.
dude, I just got a great idea. Benjamin, I know you're watching. If you're not,
You better be.
you better be. You're not my favorite anymore if you're not watching.
Right.
but if Ben's watching, man, we got to get Ben and Courtney. Well, Courtney in here,
Yeah.
maybe with one of her business co-owners or whatever. We'll talk yoga.
I love it.
We could do anything.
I
But
love it.
yeah, go ahead. You were getting your thoughts together.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, you're somebody that knows you so well. Like you're so all over the place. You're so unorganized. And what I mean by that is like
Great.
the man will literally ask you a question, and before you have the opportunity to answer that question, he is already talking about something else constantly.
It does happen.
How do you manage to function on a daily basis and not have people kill you?
You got to be really endearing. I think you've got to be really sweet and kind and nice and genuine. I think I'm all those things.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm good at that stuff. But
Yeah.
no, I am. I'm all over the place. And the reason is because, dude, my brain's going a million miles a minute. And I need guys like you in my corner. I need guys like Eric in my corner. I need, people in my corner that can kind of consume some of that stuff and put it into action, right? To make that a reality. But also I am a verbal processor. So like I will get done with this podcast and I did it yesterday, right? I'll get done with this podcast. I'll be like, Eric, I'll hit him with a bunch of ideas, right? Cause I'm talking through things and that's how I'm verbally processed. Sometimes I got this idea in my head, and it happens to you all the time. I feel bad. You probably get the majority of it. I get this idea in my head and I'm like, dude, Sean, listen, I got this idea. Well, let's do that. Wait a second. That doesn't fucking work.
Right.
Like, what the heck was I thinking?
Perfect. We're talking about Slack yesterday and how, you're like, we need to create this and have all this. And I do. It's a dude.
Maybe you're just overcomplicating.
It's what we do now with Slack. It works. So,
yeah, right.
But it's good because you need to get that information out. So
for sure.
I say, I don't know where you want to go with this, but for me, I mean, yeah, we're somewhat interesting people. I think I'm probably one of the least interesting people.
What makes you interesting?
Right. Why don't we talk about a little bit of what outside of insurance is occupying some of your time these days?
Our time.
Where's our time? Yeah.
Yeah.
But where's your focus when it's not on insurance, when it's not on the family? You got to have hobbies. There's got to be other endeavors you're interested in. Tell us a little about that.
Great segue. And really it's not going to be me that tells you all about it, but we're going to have a discussion about it because we talked yesterday. We glazed over crypto. We talked about NFTs and that stuff. I personally am always willing to invest money into residual or passive streams of income, right? I'm always trying to grow that, right? Whether it be real estate or, or crypto, but we talked a little bit about real estate. I want to get some, real estate individuals on there or on here to talk in more depth. But one of the things that I think is interesting that we've been doing a lot of is the phantom, right?
That's right. Phantomies.
We're some phantomies. And for those of you that don't know what the flip that is, I didn't either when Sean introduced it to me. And man, I'm glad that we found it because we're making some money with it now. And it's a really cool project, but I'm not the expert on it. And if you know Solana, which some of you guys watching, I know you know what the hell Solana is. I think Merwinator's invested into it. And Merwin's always talking crypto as well. So hopefully he catches this and gets to see this. If not, I'll send him just the clip of the crypto talk because he needs to be a phantomie for sure. But talk about phantom and I'm going to pass it over to you because I want you to break down the different chain stuff, right? Because Solana is a different chain and AVAX and so. And so if you're not like a crypto follower, if you don't know crypto, we'll very elementary, very rudimentary kind of description of what's going on here. And then I'll be happy to talk about what we're doing with it.
Absolutely. So Phantom is a project that we're in right now, and it's part of the DeFi movement. DeFi. And what it stands for, really, it's the decentralized finance. So I think the reason why I love it so much is because I spent 10 years of my life hating the financial industry because it's
working
terrible.
for a bank.
If you don't think it's terrible, walk into a bank without your ID, without your debit card, and try and deposit $100 into your account and see how difficult it is. Literally, they stopped you from depositing cash into your account without an ID for money laundering purposes. It's the dumbest thing ever. I won't get into it.
Wait a second, but you couldn't deposit cash in your own account without
an ID.
Well, yeah, I mean, they gotta know whose account it. What?
So why does it matter? I'm putting money into somebody's account.
Yeah,
you'd be amazed how many people pay rent that way. But anyways, got off topic. DeFi, decentralized finance, and what it really is, if you have any understanding of crypto whatsoever, it is a way of taking some of the financial institution money movements away from them and into the people's hands. So whether that being buying Shiba Inu, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Shiba, whatever. It's Shiba Inu.
A lot of people know Shiba, so it's all good.
So, but like a lot of people look at crypto from a buy and sell investment vehicle.
Right.
What DeFi is doing is starting to take away the financial aspect of it. So the financial system, lending, borrowing, keeping cash places. Like the biggest, people think crypto is a scam. To me, the biggest scam in our country is the financial system.
Kidding.
Because I can have, let's hypothetically, you have $100,000, you put it into the bank. If you're lucky, your bank is giving you 0.1%. So maybe you make $100 for the year. Well, guess what? Inflation's 5-6%.
Right.
So everyone's always concerned
every
about
bit
risk.
of 6%. Now.
Every bit, yes.
Yeah.
And some things even more. So people are always said, crypto's a scam. It's, what happens if, this happens? Well, every investment has its risks.
Right.
Keeping cash is a risk because you lose purchasing power. For all of you insurance people out there that love annuities, I do too for old folks. But like, okay, I sell an annuity to someone that's paying 5% a year. Cool. Like you're selling them something that's just hedging inflation. And it's got its needs.
Tracy's going to see this and he's going to light up the comments.
Right. It has its purpose. Absolutely. But to 100% get away from an entire market, because you don't understand it is crazy to me. I've got a few friends who are financial advisors that think crypto is the dumbest thing in the world. Meanwhile, they're bragging because they made their clients 8% last year,
which is like 1.5-2% reality. Correct,
which is nothing. So, what Phantom is, it's a decentralized. They're a DAO, which is a decentralized anonymous organization. So the best way to kind of think of it is a kind of like an index fund or a venture capitalist where,
by the way, we would be here for many hours explaining some of this stuff. So make notes of these things. DAO, right? DAO, DeFi, movement, right? Web 3.0. Like look at these types of things. That's kind of, it goes right hand in hand with metaverse and all of these other things. So continue. I just want to make sure, like, as you're breezing over things, because I get to like ask this guy all these freaking questions all the time, and whatever, is you're glazing over them. Like, understand you're gonna need to do some, if you want to get in this, you need to do some homework.
Absolutely. And not financial advice. Do your own research.
Absolutely.
All the
disclaimers,
so we don't get sued for this reason, maybe another reason, who knows. But like, to me, like, crypto is 1,000% the future. It's the next industrial revolution that we're going to have. Everything is going to go, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or Phantom and Phantom, two different things, mind you. Crypto is going to have real world utility.
Right.
And if you don't think it's going to happen, you're the same person that said the internet wasn't going to take off. To me, Bitcoin is AOL. It's the big one that took off, but I don't see Bitcoin being the big thing moving forward. And definitely,
I don't have an opinion on that matter. All the Bitcoiners are going to be like lighting you up for that. That's Sean, by the way. I didn't say anything about
That's fine. And I mean, ride the wave while you can, but there's going to be, to me, the DeFi way is what's going to change the game.
Right.
So what this project
Bitcoin's got a little too
essentially-
institutionalized, probably.
Yeah. And Congress is trying to get their hands involved in it.
Right.
Anytime you get the government involved, it sucks.
Yeah,
You can
no
pretty
kidding.
much kill innovation. But
Right.
DeFi and Phantom is extremely innovative. And what they're doing essentially is, to give you a very high level overview of what it is, it's essentially a project that has its own treasury. So their treasury is, just like the US Treasury, for instance. Like, the Federal Reserve lends us money at nothing. I mean, 0% essentially. Look at, I don't even know what prime is anymore. It's
Right.
what, 3.5, maybe 4%.
Something.
But meanwhile, the Fed is making 10s, 20s, 30, 40, 50% a year on the money and keeping it all.
Right.
So what the treasury does of the project is, they're taking money that you put into it, and you put into it in the form of like a bond, for instance, and they reward you with their native token when you bond it. So they take that treasury.
They reward
money,
you with their currency.
Their currency. FHM is the name of the token.
And we're just talking about one of the favorite
One
ones
particular
we've been spending a lot of time talking about recently.
Yeah.
I want to get into the resale thing too, but
We
go
will. But essentially, what they do is when you bond on their platform, you're feeding the treasury, and then they're taking the treasury and they're investing that into other projects that coexist with what their investment strategy is, what they're looking to do, whether it be Luna, whether it be Phantom, whether it be Moon River, whether it be Time Wonderland. There's a lot of different crypto stuff that they're investing in, but it allows the treasury to grow. And then at the same time, you have the actual token that is going up and going down based upon regular market buy and sell pressure. So what makes it great is not just the fact that the coin can go up and down in price, but it pays what's known as a rebase. The easiest way to think of a rebase, and I'm going to use the word stock split because stock splits are not taxable versus a dividend, but they pay basically a rebase, a stock split, every 7 hours. And currently right now it's 0.7 percent overall.
Yeah.
The annual percentage yield on the product right now is roughly $700,000. And people
700,000%.
Sorry, 700,000%, correct. And people are like, how is that possibly doable?
So to break that down real quick in dummy terms, because Sean's smarter than he even thinks he is sometimes. APY, right? Whatever, annual percent yearly, right? Or whatever.
Annual percentage yield.
Annual percentage yield, but it's annualized, right? It's not an APR, right? It's a yield annually. So that would mean essentially if you put at $1, a $1 investment, if you will, with a 700,000 APY would mean that at the end of 1 year, $1 would be worth $700,000, correct?
Hypothetically, if everything
nothing
stays
changed and everything,
stagnant, which if you know anything about crypto, things change.
Right.
They change quickly.
It's the only thing constant.
Absolutely. But what this project really does is not only with the compounding rewards that you're getting, every 7 hours, but the beauty behind it is the power of compound interest.
Right.
So, a lot of people look at the coin price and they freak out because it's down 20, 30%, or they're excited because it's up 20, 30%. And to me, that's irrelevant.
Hey, we're getting excited.
We are
too,
absolutely. I do get excited about
it.
it, but if I hold and stake the coin for 30 days, I will have double the amount of coins. So people who really understand crypto realize that the power of crypto is in the accumulation of coins.
And the hodlers.
Correct. You got to hodl. But if you can accumulate as many coins as possible and you believe in the project and it's got a longevity and a real world purpose, you're going to be way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
It's like the people that held 100 Bitcoin when it was $1,000. Well, let's say when it's $100,
right.
You had 10 grand. You're like so excited. Well, the same person probably sold it when it was $200. And
right.
They made $10,000 and they're really happy. But now you're looking at $60,000.
Holy shit. I can't do that math. What would that be?
Way too much fucking money.
It would be a lot.
Yeah.
I was looking over here earlier. He said, Joe said, crypto is dope AF. Yo, Sean's smart as shit. Way smarter than that clean shit out of the wash. I was reading those comments and I was dying. But let me give you my take on it, right? Because this is Sean gave you like the financial advisor, educated, smart approach. I'll tell you how I look at it. I mean, and I can see that side of it. And thankfully I'm like, I just ask him questions and, whatever. But from my perspective, okay, I put in some money. Okay. Let's just say I put in $10,000. I bought let's just say, cause it's right at about $100 per coin right now. Okay. And I put in, let's say I put in about $10,000. So I bought 100, I put 10,000 US dollars in there and I got 100 coins, right?
Correct.
That's the correct math. So because it's at $100. So $10,000 buys me 100 FHMs. Okay.
Roughly.
Now on the rebase side, I would get rebase is like a yield per
dividend,
whatever,
right? Stock split.
Stock split. So
not taxable
on the not taxable on the at least in the United States.
Correct.
On the rebase side, right? I'm making roughly, we'll just use a round number, roughly 15% on a 4 days, about where it's about 14%.
Every 5 days, roughly about 14%.
Okay, every 5 days, 14%. So that means daily I'm getting
well, you're getting every 7 hours, you're getting about 0.7 FHM if you hold 100.
So I'm getting 0.7. Hang on. So I'm getting 0.7. I'm getting 0.7 3 times a day. Okay. So that's 1.4. That's about 2 FHM a day, right?
2.1. It's 3.3 per day because it's every 7 hours.
Okay. It's 3. So it's 3 a day. Okay. So again, if the price is at $100 and I bought 100 of them for $10,000, no matter what the price, well, not no matter what the price does, but as long as the price stays around that, I'm getting $300 per day. If the price goes down to 10, okay, but then the price bounces back up to 100 a month later, I still accumulate all those FHMs, like regardless of what the price was, I accumulated them. Okay. And now the value goes up and it's just exponential growth.
Yeah.
Right.
It's compound interest is what's happening. So what that first, rebase that you're getting that 0.7. Now you're holding 100.7. So your next rebase is going to be off of that 100.7. So maybe it's 0.71. And next thing you know, you're going to be getting a full coin after each rebase, then go up to 1.5, 2. So if you've never seen the power of compounding interest, just Google compounding penny a day for a month. Yeah. And it'll blow your mind.
So many, I feel like so many things use that, like so many scammy things use that penny a day thing. This is like, this is not what we're talking about, right? No. We're talking about an actual, basically almost an indexed fund.
Correct.
Crypto project.
Correct.
Right?
So rather than think of it like a stock that pays a dividend, they pay quarterly dividend. Well, rather than doing it every quarter, they're doing it every 7 hours.
Right.
And the growth is, insane.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is the more people that hold the coin, the more people that stake it and don't sell, the better it funds the project long term, and allows it to become more sustainable. So even right now, they've got a runway, which is basically how long the project can sustain itself. I think it's at like 220 something days right now. So if nothing changed for the next 220 days, it'd be able to maintain its current levels, which you would essentially, if you've got 100 coins now, hell, probably have somewhere close to 12,000 coins at that.
Yeah. I was just looking at mine. So I'm getting like 1.7 coins a day, right? 1.7 per rebase times 3, you said?
3.5, roughly 3.3
times 3.5. So 1.7 times 3.5. And the price is at right about $100 right now. So I'm making almost 6 a day times $100. I'm making almost $600.
Math, by the way.
Yeah. Almost $600 a day is what I am pulling in on the rebase.
Correct.
So that's cool. That's one of the things that we're doing. That's one of the things that we're talking about a lot. It's getting a little choppy, but I'm sure it'll come back. You know what that is? Yeah, we'll just roll with it. That's one of the things. Hey, Joe, if you're still there, or somebody in the comments, is it just on our end, or is it getting a little choppy on your end? New studio, new equipment, still trying to get used to it. That is one of the things that we've spent a lot of time recently talking about, is that crypto. I think since like probably August, September, it's been a hot topic. We've been talking about a lot. We've been in a lot of different projects, lost a lot of money, made a lot of money.
Don't invest in shit coins.
Kind of ebbs and flows, just part of it. But it's been fun, which the reason why I'm even talking about it, or we even bring it up, is because it kind of spurred this idea on, like the whole, hey man, I really enjoy talking about things that aren't insurance related, which is odd for me, because normally I like to talk about only things that are insurance related.
And I love talking anything that's not insurance.
Yes, so it worked out. So real quick, we're gonna wrap up in probably 10 minutes, right? We want to keep these inside of an hour, for both my sanity, for everybody else out there, all that good stuff. We talked about the crypto thing, but the other thing that's been exciting lately is another kind of passive income stream, which one day we should talk about the helium miners too, because we'll definitely talk helium miners. Yeah, those are great. We're mining some helium. That's cool. That's another passive income stream.
Not the element. The
yeah, right. So anyways, we're doing some of the cool stuff with crypto, but I want to get some actual like crypto experts on and talk in more depth on that stuff. But tell us about the reselling thing. Has been fun, man. We've bought and sold some Xboxes. You far more Xboxes and PlayStations and things than me, and you're getting comic books. You're getting anything that can really resell. So you're taking the money you're making in insurance, which is cool. You're buying freaking, say, like a comic book, and then you can resell it for 25% more, 30% more, or whatever. What does that look like? How does one get into that? What the heck did you just stumble into freaking, aside from the game consoles, because we know you're a nerd gamer? Like, how do you, well, I guess that applies to the comic books too.
But I hadn't played
But
games
you also sold like a freaking
years.
Hot Wheels car.
I did. I like a Gucci Cadillac Hot Wheels
Gucci,
baby.
Gucci.
So I got into the resell business.
Thank you, Kathleen. It looks like we're good on YouTube. Good. Choppy on Facebook. We'll continue either way, because the audio is going to be crystal clear for the audio version. And this is really, we're live streaming this podcast, but it's really designed to be mostly an audio.
So funny enough, I actually got into the resell business from maybe somebody who is less of a people person and less personable.
Can we get him on this?
I absolutely think we need to get him on this. But so my best friend got into the reselling of shoes, which I told you this probably about a year ago. And I told you that Blake probably had one of the nicest shoe collections of anybody I knew, and it blew your mind.
The dude doesn't even fucking wear shoes. He's barefoot like 90% of the time.
I wear shoes more than he does. He's not saying a lot.
He literally is barefoot. If he's not barefoot, he's wearing flip-flops.
Absolutely.
But he's got all the Jordans ever.
Correct. So he got into it because he found out that you could buy Jordans, and he figured out how to do it to resell them and make a little bit of a profit. And he's like, yeah, I made like $700 last month. And I was like,
damn.
Well, damn, I'm on the computer all the time. I can do that. And so I got into it and, started the shoe thing, realized shoes are highly competitive. Not something that I'm necessarily crazy about.
You didn't have the time to be babysitter, waiting for the shoe to drop and trying to buy it and all that stuff.
And also I knew dick about shoes. Nothing. I knew they went on your feet, and that was pretty much it.
He got them at Walmart.
Pretty much. Last time I bought a pair of shoes 5 years ago before this. So
now he's got a great collection.
Right? And so I got into it, and then I realized, you know what? Consoles are still a really big thing. And so I figured out how to start buying consoles. So people that bitch and moan because they can't get one, the reason why you can't get one is because you didn't put in the fucking time to figure out how to do it. So all you people out there that get pissed because you think I'm quote unquote ripping you off and scamming you, no, I put the time in, the effort to figure out how to do this, and I beat you to it.
Also, don't feel bad, because I too get pissed off because I didn't put in the effort and won't put in the effort, and he won't put in the effort for me to buy the Xboxes for me and make me the money. So we'll get there eventually.
So, but I got into it, and then there's reselling groups on Discord. Really is what I use, and I got into a pretty exclusive group called Malice. Had to write a damn paragraph to get into there three times, and I finally got accepted into it. But they're phenomenal because reselling can be a very unethical thing. But the reason why I love them is because they're as ethical as you can possibly get. We don't resell,
Crap.
Not crap, but like necessity items. Like as much you might think an Xbox or a PlayStation is not a necessity.
No.
It's a want. It's a fun thing. So like we're not selling COVID tests. We're not selling toilet paper. We're not selling like items that you shouldn't be profiting off of retail. It's the fun stuff. So like got really into it. Figured out how to buy a bot, way more difficult than I would have ever thought it was. How to set it up, how to set up a server, how to get proxies, all this whole concept. And so now a lot of it's automated. So I remember we were sitting there talking one day and we were going over we were doing a manager meeting, talking about the business or whatever. And I look at my phone and said, oh, spot 30 PlayStations. I was like
30 with a 0.
Yeah. And I was like, I hope my card doesn't get declined next time I go to buy lunch. So, but so like a lot of it is now automated, but it's consoles, it's comics. If you're a big comic person, now is a great time to get back into it, but B, hold on to your stuff because there's a huge paper shortage that's now being implemented because there's a shortage for everything. I almost sold Blake's wife that there was an ice shortage the other day. I had her so close.
An ice shortage.
So close.
That's hilarious.
But you can make money with almost any collectible item out there. You just have to have the knowledge, the information, and the means in order to accumulate it. So what I think I do different than most people that do reselling is a lot of them are high school, college kids that are using their parents' card, hoping to flip it for $20. So even items that like if you want to get into the business and you find something that you think is highly collectible that does have a resale market, if an item drops, give it 2 days, let people get it in hand. Don't go to StockX because they kill you with fees, but go on eBay, buy it for probably 5% over retail because you got this 19-year-old kid who bought it on mom's credit card who needs to sell it.
Sit on it for freaking 6 months.
I can't tell you how many things I bought a couple days after it released, held on to it for a week, resold it for 20-30% profit.
Yeah,
because we call them, they're called paper hands. Paper hands and investment, reselling, whatever it may be. They get it. They freak out because the price is down a little bit and they just try to sell to get their money back. So it's a great secondary income. It's a lot of fun.
Which just got me thinking too. We got to get if you know any sports card collectors, right? I know Michael Leb. I'll get Leb on here for sure. But sports card collections, that's a big thing. The reason I even thought that is because when you're talking, I'm thinking like Gary Vee does the same thing. Gary Vee is going to garage sales, buying shit, reselling it, showing people how really easy it can be to make money. Especially when you have a little money to go buy something and then make the profit.
And even that, I don't even go to garage sales and buy stuff. That's too risky for me. Everything I buy is from
brand new
Amazon, Walmart, Target, Best Buy.
That can be returned.
They all have return policies. So worst case scenario, I return and get my money back. Comics are the ones that don't have, return policies. But, for instance, I just sold on eBay. I bought 3 total comics of this particular one. It was a Kang the Conqueror, who's going to be a new character in Marvel, to the Marvel universe. But
there's so many people out there that are so into Marvel, so mad at me right now.
But if you've seen the show Loki, the character Miss Minutes was the little clock on there. Well, she had her first cover appearance on a comic. I paid $2.50 each for 3 of them. So it's what, $7.50 I paid. I just sold 2 of them on eBay for $100.
Wow. That's a good markup.
Yeah. And I'm still going to hold on to one of them. So when season 2 comes out, should sell it for more. But like, it's that simple to just kind of, not that simple to know, but like if you put the time and the effort to learn this stuff, the opportunity is there.
There you go.
So
see, we don't even have to talk about insurance, and the same things apply to something else we're talking about, right? So like everything he said, you put the time, the effort in, there's, what do I always say? There's no lack of resources, just a lack of resourcefulness.
Absolutely.
Right? So you were resourceful, which is ultimately probably why he's successful in insurance as well. So man, it's been a lot of fun. I know we want to wrap up here right about an hour. We're right on pace. Look forward to a bunch of guests. Let me just do some house cleaning real quick before we wrap up, because this is so new and I want to set a good expectation. If you've listened to the whole episode, first of all, bless your heart. We love you. Thank you. We don't know what we're doing. We're just having a good time. Yeah, we're just shooting the shit, which we would do anyway. So we might as well broadcast it, right? That I learned a little bit more than I knew about the project that I'm invested in just by sitting here talking. So house cleaning though, whoops, it's on my beard. A little bit of house cleaning. We're looking for guests, right? We're actively looking for interesting people out there in and out of the insurance space. I've got a long list of people already, but we're going to be doing this constantly. We're constantly going to, sometimes live, sometimes pre-recorded. We're doing a few pre-recorded episodes next week that'll drop later on. You can find this soon on YouTube, Spotify, or I'm sorry, on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, all of the major, hubs. As soon as we hit 4 or 5 episodes, that'll be all out there. But do me a favor, okay? If you're watching this and you think it was good, give me a thumbs up. If you think it was bad, give me a thumbs up too, because it's opposite day. And so that works, which means if it's good, don't give it a thumbs down. Just give it a thumbs up, and that's it. Click the like and subscribe button on YouTube. Share the replay out. The replay is going to stay posted to my Facebook page, to the Facebook group. We'll also repost an edited version to YouTube. Share that out. Let's get this movement going, because I do believe, and maybe you feel the same, I do believe that the insurance space is ready for something that's more entertaining, more centered around not policies and how to sell them, right? Because there's plenty of that. I'm not saying that we don't need it. I'm just saying that there's a need for an entertainment outlet. So it's been fun. 2022 is all about fun. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you very soon.
Thank you, guys.